flipping live stream's playing up with me today. I had to try to go live twice and it wouldn't go live. I don't know why, was going on with it. Right, so camera's a bit too close, I think. What the heck's wrong with it now? Ah, that's better. Carpet wasn't very level there. Right, so I made some more space and some more washer things to go on the other side, on this side here. My friend made me another bracket for the left side, which I haven't put on yet. But I'm going to sort these washers out first. I'll just leave them there. I can see them better. You can't really see them too well anyway. I don't know if my stream's working for you, Hyde. I don't know. You have to let me know because it's been so glitchy the last few days. I tried to take the ad blocker stuff off the main website just to see if that was causing a problem, but I don't think it is. Okay, that's good. I'm glad it's working. So what I need to do, what I'm going to be doing in a minute or two, is I'm going to loosen this bolt on this side, on the right side, so that I can turn this up, so I can feed these washers on this bolt here, because this bolt obviously is not going to lift up very well if that one's tight, because the whole thing has to twist a bit. So I've just had some burger and chips actually. I've just eaten burger and chips, so my food's just settling a bit. And I was trying to get this stream to work. I clicked live stream before and it appeared briefly, then disappeared on me. So I had to delete that one and then restart it again. Right, so now what I noticed was that this, I'll move them down there, this plywood, as it goes along here, it's bent. It's actually this point at the middle, at the bottom, goes further that way than this point over here. And there's a bit of a kink, over here, there's a kink right here where this bolt is. So I think that when I put these washers on, it's going to help straighten it out a bit, you know. It's going to help flatten this out a bit, bring it forward a bit, so that it's not as bowed in. Well, it's not going to sort the problem out 100%, no way. I mean, the only way to do that is to get a metal frame. But anyway, I'm hoping that this will improve things, so I'm going to have to loosen up this nut. Right, so I'm going to loosen this nut up. It's loosened up now. Just wants to be loose so I can lift this one up. So I'll undo this one. I've got to take it right off. I also did take the cable ties off there because that wire was so close to the wood I wouldn't get the washer behind it. Right, so I'm struggling a bit here because I'm right-handed. I'm using my left hand. Right, I think that's going to come off now. I better move these out of the way, otherwise I'm going to have stuff lying on the floor. As that nut spins around, it's going to knock things flying. I'll move the microphone over here a bit. Might help if I prop this end up so that this end's higher. So I'll put my pliers underneath this end. That's better. I've got a bit of clearance now. Oh, it's alright hard, no worries. Watching nuts fly is not very entertaining, I know. Right, see how far that washer had got stuck into that wood. It's left a little trough going all the way around there. You know, I was thinking about these spring washers as well. These things. These spring washers, they're a little bit deceptive actually, because when you tighten up a washer and a nut against a spring washer, because there's more pressure on one side than the other, that can cause a slight amount of distortion in the way the frame is mounted against the bolts. And one way to overcome that is to, on one side of the clamp where you clamp a spring washer, is to have the springy part on the top and on the other side of the nut have a springy part on the bottom. That helps to compensate for uneven, because it can cause a slight, it can make the bolt slightly more up on one end than the other. I've seen that problem before. These types of spring washers are not very good for precision clamping. The ideal types of spring washer are the ones that are serrated all the way around. They have a raised spring thing going all the way around. Those types of spring washers are much better than these. These can cause a slight dip on a clamp piece of work where the bar goes through. It can actually cause we're talking about thousandths of an inch, but if it's a long piece of rod that goes, and you're talking about a foot coming out here, then the amount of error coming out can be quite large by the time it gets to the end. I mean, I was told about this years and years ago. That's the reason why there were different types of spring washers. Otherwise, it would all be like that. Certain applications, like a motorcycle wheel, don't really matter. I mean, it's a short stud. It's only about, you talk about a distance of about 6 inches or something. But when you've got a long rod, that springiness is pushing more, say, one side than the back, so you have a little bit more of a flex going down. We're talking about thousandths of an inch, nothing huge, but I think when you're dealing with a printer, the alignment is very important, that you've got your bolts dead straight, dead parallel. At least I've got enough clearance for this nut to come off. Right. Nearly there. Oh, it's flipping microphone. This microphone's in the way now. I don't believe it. I put the microphone there and I didn't realise I was blocking the view. Let's get these. There's 2 spring washers on here. What? No, actually one flat washer and one spring washer. Now, it won't matter so much with them giant washers I'm going to be putting on. That's for sure. Once these giant washers are on there, it's not going to make much difference, because these are going to be covering a large surface area. It's just when you're clamping really close onto something, it can cause a bit of distortion. And when you've got a small footprint, like just a tiny washer, you know, that's when you get problems. I've just eaten burger and chips, and the vinegar always starts me coughing for some reason. Now this should lift up. Yeah, it does. should be able to lift this. I need to get that plastic off the other end really, but now I should be able to get this back washer over that edge. Right, let's lift this end up. Actually, I just realised something. I need to take one of these washers off, because it's all about distance and measuring the. Now I'll leave a spring washer on there. Take this ordinary washer off, because there's going to be two washers going in its place actually. Two big ones. Right, we're over the top now. Now I can go back down. Right, so now we need this other one on. Oh my god, it's Ross! Oh, I bet he's only checking his email. Right, see if I can get this over the top of the wire. Yay! I got it over the top, yay! Now I've got to get this perfectly lined up, because I've got to drill a hole for the rivets that are going to go through there, because I'm going to put rivets on here as well. So these have got to be very perfectly lined up. The only way to do that, really, actually I can do it by the middle part there. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to drill some holes. I'll clamp this up actually a little bit. I'll drill some holes with the wood. Then I'll need to line the bracket up at the back with a hole. So what I'll do for now, I can put this spring washer back on here. Wire's trapped in the back door. Right, I need to measure that. You know, I lost my steel ruler. I can't find it anywhere. I used to have a steel ruler and I can't find it. I'm going to have to buy another one. You see how these increments go right to the very end. And I can't see with this bloody thing. Where's my torch gone? I want to get these measurements right at this. Right, let's see if I can go up to that edge. That should work. Right, well, it looks like 79mm up to that nut. So if I go to there, yeah, this nut needs to be forward a bit. Okay, you're gonna ring him. 79. He's gone again. 79mm. As close as I can get it with my ruler. Right, 79mm. It's got to be lined up properly. This size. Right, that looks about right. So I've got 79mm basically from this back white surface up to the edge of this nut here, which is what determines the alignment really. So right, I'm going to put that on. Put a nut back on here. sure I'll get it right way around. Oh, that's the back. Hang on, is it? Oh, that's the top. That's the back. It's a bit stiffer down here. Right, I want to get these lined up and then tighten that nut a bit, then drill some holes through the wood part. Because I already made the holes in the steel washers, but I haven't got holes in the wood part yet, so I'm going to have to use the washer. The washer is going to basically act as a drill guide. I'm just making sure this is the same on both sides. Right, I can tighten that up a bit. I don't want it moving. Right, I might as well tighten them up. Tighten this other one up as well. You see, I'm going to drill the wood out, and if the hole isn't lined up in the wood at the back with the other steel washer, then I'm going to have to loosen this one again over here and line it up. But in the meantime, I'm just going to tighten it up so it doesn't move while I'm drilling. It won't take long, it's only wood I'm drilling actually. The steel washers have already got the holes in ready, lined up properly as well. Oh my god, this wood, it was a bit split, so it's actually straightening it out while I'm tightening it. Yay! It's straightening it out. It really is. So the wood had a bit of a bow in it and now it's straight. That's why it's creaking. Right, let's have a look. This back end wants to go down a bit. Right, it's alright for now. I'm just going to get my mini drill and drill some holes in the wood. Hey, it is definitely straighter than it was. These wider footprint washers have straightened the wood out quite a bit. That's a good thing. Oh, no answer, eh? Oh. I need to plug this power supply in. Right, get my drill. Oh, I want a 3mm drill. There we go. I don't have any more rivets left until I ordered some on eBay. They should be here in a couple of days from London anyway. I'm not worried about that though for now. I just want to get the holes there ready for my pop riveter. Well, I do actually have one rivet left. Well, there's no point putting one in, is there? Might as well wait till I get the new ones, which are actually a bit longer as well. Instead of the 6mm ones, I got 8mm, so there's look a bit longer. Let's see if I've got this drill straight. Oh, this is going to be a bit noisy. It's going to look a bit... One of my springs is on the floor. This is what I didn't want to happen. I don't want my parts falling on the floor. The power lead has got a nick in it. I don't know if I've done that. It's only 12 volt, but that flipping nick has been trapped on something. That's marvellous. I'll put some heat shrink sleeving around it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got nicked. I don't know what's done that. I want to put some heat shrink sleeving around it just to protect it. If I find it. Where is it? Where have I put it? Somewhere. Oh, there it is. My nose end. I wonder what Rusty's doing. I need a piece of heat shrink sleeving to protect my drill wire, which seems to have got nicked. Now, what side shall I can't use that, it's a bit. That thin stuff looks very thin. I don't think it's... I'll never get that over the plug anyway, so the thick stuff's going to have to be the one. You start to do one job and you end up doing another. That's because if I don't do it now, I'll forget. Not sure how it got nicked. I must have dropped something on it. Can I get this over here? Oh, actually, if this plug comes off, yeah, maybe. I can't get it over there, can I? I'm going to have to go up to something a bit bigger then. I'll use some of this really big stuff. I hope it'll shrink down enough. Hope so. It goes over anyway. That's a good thing. Right, where's that nick? I feel it when I get there. Ah, it's right there. One way down. I don't even know if this is going to shrink enough, but there's a bit of bare wire sticking out. I just don't like that. This might not shrink enough, I don't know. My lighter's going to melt in a minute if I'm not careful. Yeah, it won't shrink enough. Damn it. Well, all I can do then is to wrap some tape around there. What the heck is that? Very noisy outside. I'll have a look. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was a skateboard. Oh my God, Rusty's back again. Well, I'm not going to say anything because he's probably just checking his email. Probably won't even see my text. Right, I'm going to drill these holes in the waters. Noisy people making noises outside, I just don't know. I'm stuck. Oh, my power lead came out. That's good, isn't it? Alright, I think we're lined up now. So I need to just slacken this off and line up the back washer because it's not quite there. If it was, it would go straight through. So I'm just going to loosen that. There's a lot of zombies around here these days. Talking about outdoors around here. People on drugs. I'm stuck again. I need to get this lined up with the washer at the back. It's already drilled. Yeah. Okay, that's lined up. Right, we're lined up. I'm just going to leave my drill in there. The drill will stop the back washer and the front washer from moving when I tighten this up. Actually, I can stick that other rivet in I've got rather than risk breaking my drill. I have got one rivet left. A rivet. It won't get in the way as much as that drill does. Here we go, I've got one rivet, look at that, one there. I'm waiting for the order coming through, so when the new ones come I'll use those, but this is just to keep the alignment. Right, that works. Oh, let's tighten this up now. That one's tightened already. More to go. I'm just check the camera angle. Things do move sometimes. Oh, Magneton is here! Yay! Yeah. So I don't know if he's watching. I don't know. Right. So we've got wide footprint washers now at the back and the front on both sides, which is helping to keep this wood straight because it was starting to warp, it was bowed in, and so I'm waiting for new rivets coming in the mail because I've only got one left and it's a bit short really. They're not very, they did do the job over here but they're just only just. So I've ordered some rivets that are a bit longer, they're about 8mm, not 6, because this wood is about 6mm thick. And then there's a washers each side, so I was lucky to get the other rivets to work, actually. Right, that's nice and tight, and it's not going to split the wood because it's got a really wide footprint. And I measure the distance between the back and the front on both sides to get the same distance. Right, so the rivet will fit in when I get the new ones. Actually, now I've tightened that nut up, it's a bit stiff to get it out. It's coming though. Ah, there we go. So I'll be able to put new rivets in both sides. When they come, there we go. It's gone in. Right, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So these extra strengtheners, rivets and things, well, I need to get some what do you call it, cable ties as well because I haven't got any. Right, they're going to be great when I get the new ones. So that's ready for riveting when I get them. And that's going to really add a lot of strength to that bottom piece. Hey Magneton, hello. I don't know, I filled that affidavit thing in. I don't know how long that's going to take, but Russ was in and out. He said there was going to be setting up the new office. Can't wait. I need to get some more coffee as well. So that bend that bend there was a bit of a bend here. I can't see it now. I'm going to look straight down on it. I can't see it. The bend has gone. That is excellent news. But the top one's still got a bend in it. The top of the frame. That's still got a bit of a bow in it. You know, I was thinking about this bowing, this bendiness, and maybe if I stuck a bit of curtain rail or something along the bottom of the top of the frame, that would straighten it out. Might do that, but I'll have to get somewhere if I do that. But for the moment, it's good enough. At least we've got the base. This is the most important part, isn't it? At the bottom, where this frame mounts to the this piece, because this piece is what keeps these motors aligned and everything. Make sure my stream's going out live, because I need to go and make some more coffee, because I'm parched for some reason. Yeah, well, I ain't watching, I don't know, but basically I noticed that the wood frame had warped. Now, I don't know if the warping was caused between it coming from the United States to the UK, or if it happened before. I don't know. I know one thing for sure: the UK is we have a lot more humidity in the UK than certain hot areas of the USA. I don't know, the climate is very different over here. It's very, very different. As you know, we're well known for our raining and wet weather, and it's currently wet outside right now. It's been raining for on and off for like 2 or 3 days now. And yeah, these washers, I've riveted them on both sides, so the frame can't drift, can't move. It's absolutely solid, this piece is now. I can lift the frame up. I'll lift the frame up and show you, and it's all one piece now. No give. It's solid as a rock with those rivets there, and this bolted with these big washers. There's a small washer, then a big washer. It's basically like a huge boot on the end. It's also clamped at the back, so that frame is not going to go anywhere. And I was saying earlier, I've ordered some more rivets for this side because I've run out, and I've got this drilled ready. All I've got to do is pop some rivets in there, and that's going to stop this wood from possibly breaking down the middle there where the other one broke. So it will strengthen that up, and well, there was a bend in the wood here, and there was a bend in the wood here, and that bend has gone now that I've clamped this up with these big washers. The bend has completely gone. I can't see it at all. So that's really, really good. I think what's probably happened is because of the thin joint that was underneath, when you tighten these nuts up, it was spreading them out, it was causing them to warp and sort of kink. But because I've got these bigger washers on, it can no longer do that. Oh, it just dropped on. I think I must have been on something. Anyway, it's taking shape slowly. I've still got the turntable to finish off. Yeah, I'll show you what I've done with the turntable so far. I've fixed those broken pieces that were snapped off at the top. There. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Hang on. Right. Well, I put resin. I soaked resin with some acetone. I mixed a bit of acetone in with the resin, painted it on with a brush, and it soaked into the wood. I super glued these pieces on first, then I painted it with acetone and resin, and it's set now. But the next stage is to put some metal brackets between the end and the frame over here on both sides to fix that, so that there's no chance of that snapping off again, because resin is very brittle. Because resin's very brittle, it's quite easy that I could not put my hand on the turntable and it could just go snap and snap off again. So I'm going to put some steel on both sides and clamp it, so that if it does snap, it's still held securely, you know what I mean? Because as it is, if it does snap off, it'll come off in one piece. But if there's some steel on the top and on the bottom, it's going to be like a sandwich of steel on the top and bottom, and there's less chance of it at least falling apart like it did last time, because the steel would bend, and I would at least be able to bend it back and then glue it again or something. But yeah, it's slowly coming back together. You can see the shininess of the resin I painted on it. You can see certain angles where there's parts I didn't do. I didn't do this bit over here. I run out of resin when I'd mixed up. I'd mixed just enough actually, and there was a bit short on here and there. But this side isn't broken anyway. I did all that side with resin all the way around. And that something else as well. The resin will stop the wood from absorbing moisture. It will effectively seal the wood so that the wood doesn't expand and contract with moisture. That's another thing, because it's like paint, it's like a varnish really. I suppose you could call it like a varnish. It will stop the moisture getting into the wood, so that should stop the wood from expanding and contracting and changing the height of the turntable as well. So that should help with that. Anyway, but what I'm going to do next is as I said, I'm going to make some metal brackets, fix them on, and once I've got them, I've got these rivets coming, I'm going to rivet them on actually instead of using nuts and bolts, because the nuts and bolts will probably vibrate and come loose. So I'm going to rivet the pieces of metal strips onto here, and once that's done, I'll paint the whole thing again with resin and some acetone to seal it, you know, just the parts I've missed, you know. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it right now because I'll have to wait 24 hours for it to harden again, and I don't want to get it all over my hands. I figured I'll wait and get these metal brackets sorted out next on there, because this is basically almost ready to go back on the printer really, and but I don't want to be putting it back on until I've got it, you know, strengthened up a bit more. Well, anyway. So that's basically where we are at the moment, and I'll try and take a picture of this. I don't know if I can show you. Oh, maybe actually if I get my ruler, get the camera, I can show you the bend in the top of the frame, and you see what I mean. If I get my ruler, I can see the gap. Put this all light on a minute. I'll just make this let's make this preview window a bit bigger. Right, let me just undo the camera a minute. Get that off there a minute. Right, I hope this witness USB's long enough. Right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but just a minute. Right, this thing's in the way. The screen. Let me just get this off here. Let's get this thing off here. I'm trying to get it off. The screws pat in there. Just a minute. Sorry about this, tubers, if you're watching, you don't like things moving around, I know. I'll try and get my ruler in there, you see. Put this wood on the top. If I oh, I can't do it, just a minute. Hang on. I have to put the camera down a minute. Come up, you bugger. Where's that hole? Why is it not coming out? Just a minute. Give me a minute. I have to turn this screw to back that out. Right. Can't get my ruler against the wood with this in the way. Right, okay, now I've got it. Right. Okay, move the display down there a minute. Right. Now, this is what I'm concerned about. I've got getting my ruler on here. Now, look at that ruler. Right. You can see it's touching the wood on this side. Right. The ruler is right up against that wood there, look. As you go along, see it's bowing out, the wood is bowing out because there's a gap. There's actually a gap there between the wood and the ruler. See the gap? As I go along, it's really bad over here, very bad gap there, look. When I get to this end, the ruler's touching again. Right, the ruler's touching there, look. And as we come this way, the gap, the wood's bowed in. So, as I say, I don't know if this is because of the humidity in the UK or whether or not it was already doing that, but you can see what I mean about this walking problem. And obviously that's going to throw out all of the prints that are made. It's not good to have that kind of a bend in the wood, is it? Anyway, right, I'll just stick this back on there. Where's my screw gone? Right, so I don't know what's caused that. That's rust gone again. Now I'll get my ruler back. So I'm thinking about ways to straighten that wood out on top as well. Maybe I can get some curtain rail or some trimming, aluminium trimming that will go on the edge on the top. For now, that will basically force this wood straight, like a crossbeam thing. Yeah. that might be another solution. But I was saying to Schubert, the more expensive solution is for me to go to the engineering firm and when I get this money comes through from the probate, is to have a whole new frame cut out of a 6mm thick alloy, aluminium. So I don't know how you say it in America. I think you call it is it aluminium or something? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, alloy. So that's another option, is to get a new frame made out of aluminium. But that's going to mean dismantling the whole thing and moving it across. Well, I'm not going to complain about that, because aluminium that's not going to move. That's not going to budge and change with humidity, and that's probably a good thing. That's probably going to solve a lot of problems with changing atmospherics. But at the same time, it's going to be a damn sight heavier. It's going to be a lot heavier. It's probably going to add something like a kilogram to the weight, or maybe half a kilogram. I don't know exactly how heavy the aluminium would be, because 6mm thick across this surface area. I don't really know, because I think alloys are different. There's different types of alloys. There's dense aluminium, there's aircraft aluminium, there's many different types. So it really does depend on the kind of grade you get. I haven't even inquired about that yet. So I'll better put this back up here. Put the display back up here so it doesn't get smashed on something. I lost my screwdriver now. Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna put that screw back through there. I haven't got it properly bolted on yet. I haven't bolted it on for a simple reason that I don't want to fix it on properly yet, because, as I say, I'm still deciding on what to do with this top beam, whether or not I should mount some kind of a strut on there. Just debating it really with myself. Oh, my friend made another bracket for the left side so it's even. This is another print he made. He did one for the left side, so this is a mirror image of the one he did for me for the right, for the bottom motor mount. And it come out really, really good this time. There was no springiness or stringiness to it whatsoever. It's solid as a rock. Listen. Solid as a rock. My friend over here has finally mastered his printer and got it really well set up, and so that's going to be going on this side, on this, because what we found out was that this new bracket we found for the right hand side, it was slightly thicker. The back piece there was slightly thicker, and so that moved the motor forward a little bit. And we want this motor to be the same. We don't want to have a twist between here and there, so he made me another bracket for the bomb so that it's exactly the same, because I couldn't find the original bracket for this end. We looked all over. We found a left hand motor mount bracket, but we couldn't find the right one. But then I figured out later how to mirror image these brackets. So if I'd mirror imaged the original bracket that was on the left side for the right, we could have probably used that, but I think it had some extra bits sticking out, some plastic pieces, and we don't want them really. So we opted for this smaller bracket without the extra bits of plastic sticking out. And anyway, I'm pretty sure that's going to work fine. If there's a slight alignment issue between the bottom and the top, I could always put some steel washers around the back of these brackets at the top and move them out a little bit. So that's another possibility. So I'm not too worried about that. The point is, we've got some good solid brackets now, which are not broken. We're making progress. I actually moved the Z-axis right to the top. You can just get your fingernail in there. just about get your fingernail in there. I moved it right up to the top so it was high enough for me to work on here when the new parts come. I'm not going to be bending down and getting a crook neck. I'm going to have plenty of room to see what I'm doing when I get the new hot end to go on. So yeah, so it's looking good, things are improving. Ah, file server. Huh. I'm going to make some coffee, I think. So what the heck is wrong with this? I think that's blocking my getting in the way. So what does your file server actually do, Magneton? Is it leaving it FTP? Is that what you mean? Okay. Oh, I'll see. Yeah, I better stop the stream now and save it, otherwise it's going to get lost. It's going to restart anyway in 2 minutes. So, yeah, I think I'll finish for the moment and have a cup of coffee and a break.